Hi, today's video is one that I haven't done in a long time. It's a get ready with me. If you like the look that I'm currently wearing, which is actually care of the Hourglass, or featuring the Hourglass ambient lighting powder in Dragon, which is one of the holiday sets for palettes for 24. Carry on watching. So I have cleansed and moisturised my face, and I'm going to start off with, and done the rest of my skincare, I'm going to start off with my foundation, which today is a CC cream from It Cosmetics, and it's in the shade Fair, and it's the current formulation of that shade. So I've got one pump on the face, and I'm going to blend it out with a buffing brush. So like I said, I've not done one of these videos in quite a long time. It's been years, in fact. And mainly because of editing issues. I'm not the best. But I used to have an iPad, and the built-in iMovie was very, very good. Now phones, obviously, nowadays, other than the Apple, don't tend to have them built in. You've got to get apps, and yeah, that has been the start and the end of my problems. Now, the cosmetics is described as full coverage, but I don't think it is. Here on my skin, I would say it is. I describe it as a medium. I like medium. Although it is richer and thicker than it used to be when it was made in Korea. This cream is now made in the US of A. Here we are. Base really doesn't take too long, and I do take it over the eye, over the eyelid, mobile lid, everywhere. I make sure it's blended in. And also under the chin. So this is one coat, which I would say is a medium. So I'm pleased with the finish. That's quite nice. The next item I'm going to go in with is a colour corrector, and for that I'm going to use Boing from Benefit, and it's in 01. With that, what I'm going to have to do is put a bit of face oil in, because although it hasn't been open more than a few months, it has hardened off. So this is an oil-based product, so you can use an oil, and that is to hide the dark circles, which you can see there's quite a lot of purple. So it's to offset the purple. There. And then I could also put it around the nose to add a bit more coverage. There, I think that's fair enough. Now, some people lose coverage around the nose because of if the nose is very hot. If the skin's hot, foundations may not stick. But my face is quite cool today, so I don't think that's the issue. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my skin, or lightly set my skin, and for that I have the Laura Mercier powder. It's translucent setting powder. It's a jumbo one, and I am liking it. Is it my favourite powder of all time? No, but so I pour some into the lid, get my big buffing brush. I've got the end cut off because it was banging into mirrors, because obviously as I've got older, my sight isn't as good as it once was, unfortunately. I'm going to put a bit more into the top. And again, swirl the brush around. Now this isn't going to leave the skin a flat mat by any means. But I just don't want it so tacky that other products, can you see it's still shiny, other products may have a problem. So the next thing I'm going to do is indeed the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Dragon. Now this is the palest one. There's three different colour intensities and shades. Now in the Hourglass website, you can choose the components that are inside can be lifted out and changed. Well, by Hourglass, you can't do it yourself. And so there was an option that you could put the palest colour in another tin. The other tins are an evil eye, or one that's warding off an evil eye. It's got an eye on it, and then the other one has a lily pad. But I went for the standard packaging because I do like the dragon, and I am in the lightest colourway that suits me. So I picked this up at Sephora. They're having most days, different times of the day, 15 or 20% off. And I picked it up, and I had a £5 reward from the old scheme that was due to expire. So I decided to pick this up, and I got it for £67 instead of 90, which was very good. I was pleased with that. Now I'm going to start off with, these are all the powders. I'm going to start off with the blush. The blush is a peach, and it's called Peach Fusion. All of these shades are new. Apparently, Hourglass say the only one that isn't new is this one. But no one can find any of these in any other palettes, so we think all of these are new. And the reason I've not really been into the palettes, I'm using a small brush. I'll show you, it's a Real Techniques brush because they're only very small. And the reason I've never bought them is they tend to be pink. They always run the same colours, pink, 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 pink. I'm putting this on first. I'd normally sculpt the face first, but you may not be able to appreciate the colour. So here it is. So it is quite, and this is one that you can build up. It's a baked powder. I'd say it's a baked cream, but it's not particularly dusty, which some of them can get very dusty. I know gelees, baked gelees tend not to be, but I don't think it's a gelee. I've used gelee formulas, but that is lovely. Can you see? Now you can still see my cheeks underneath, and that's just the way that it is. But I did see this at Harvey Nicks once it came out. I happened to have this, you know, I don't often go into Manchester, but I happened to go in and I was able to try it. So I knew what it was like, because they had all the palettes on display. And I realised that this, yes, would be nice for me. So I think, yeah, that's nice. It's nice. There it is. So I'm going to now sculpt. I would normally do that first, but if you sculpt, you're not going to appreciate the tone of this. So I'd say these are best suited for people with light, fair to light skin tone. I'm going to use the bronzer, which is leaning more neutral than other palettes, I believe. I've not had others, but a lot of people have mentioned this is more cooler leaning. It's not a cool one. It's just called Soft Bronze. It certainly isn't. It's a neutral. So I'm going to start on the perimeter of my face. I can't believe how dark it is. It's early afternoon and it's really dark today. Like I say, it's not kicking up powder by any means. It's really, really nice. And I'm bringing it to connect the perimeter of the face together. There it is. You can see there's a bit of powder there. I've got a window to this side, so it could be bleaching out the colour a little bit. And then I'm going to take this, pass it over the temples, and then underneath the blush. But obviously they'd get muddied up, and I wanted you to see the blush first. But can you see that is starting to layer? It's going under the hollow. That's that one. And then this one. But it is very, very gentle. And then I'm going to put a bit under the chin. And then also to take the starkness off my face, which is very pale, I'm going to put a bit of bronzer there. So that is the base. Very, very nice. Other than what I'll try and do, I'll get a little powder, and I'm going to use, I'll show you, I'm going to use the ambient lighting powder, the first one in this, which is called Dreamlight. And they're not, they look very white, they're not. One's an oyster and one is slightly more cream. This is the slightly more cream or ivory tone of the two. I'm going to put that underneath the eye. And then I'm going to put the other one, which is called, what's the other setting powder? Divine Light. I'm going to put that slightly tone down the shine on the face. Is what it can do. That's very, very nice. So there it is. But it gives a lot of life, you know, to the skin. And then I'm going to use this little stippling brush. It's a very light, gentle one. And I'm going to put the highlighter shade, which is this. And the highlighter is called Strobe Light in Sunset. So it is a peachy gold, and it may be difficult to show because I'm getting quite a lot of light kickback from this, but what I will do is, there, can you see it's gone a bit more peachy gold there? So it's very, very subtle, as what you would expect with Hourglass. So the only one that I'm not using on my face, but I will swatch for you, is this pinky brown with a bit of mauve in. So it's, although it's a pink, it is there. It's quite a warmish colour, which is better for me. I don't like it going too cool tone. So that is the base. I'm going to go into the eyes, and for that I'm going to use a base powder, and I just use any old matte. This one is very old, and it is near the end of its life, nearly finished it all. And what I do is I sweep this in over the lid. That should, yeah. So that gives me a good base, and it allows shadows still to grip without clinging too much in certain areas. So it's going to be a simple shadow, and it's typical what I use on the daily. So basically I've got a Give Beauty, which is Gwen Stefani, and she brought this out about 18 months, maybe 2 years ago. Now this is called A Simple Kind of Life. It is a matte palette, it's a quad. Now this has been relaunched, or a version of this, and instead of being a quad, same size, same packaging, it's 6. So what she's done is there are 2 colours, and then the other 2 are split in 2. It's a split pan with a matte and a shimmer. So I think there's a couple of shimmers and the rest are mattes. It's had good reviews. I'm quite happy with the mattes because all I will say is they do kick up quite a lot of quite a lot of dust, is what I'm going to say, or pigment. So it's just a very quick wash. This is what I do. Now, because I have heavy lids and the upper lid is, this non-mobile lid is dropping, and I've got hooded eyes, to actually recess it, you put something dark on it to push it back, to give it a shadow. It's obviously not pushed back in 3 dimensions, but it gives an appearance, a more sculpted appearance, and that's what I do. So the lid itself isn't that heavy. It's just the flesh above it is dropping. It's just purely to do with age. So there. So that gives, and you can still see veins. You can see all the veins in the eyes, and that's just that's despite the foundation being on. My eyes are very veiny. So I'm going to put some more base on and even them out. My eyes are not identical in the position of the sockets, slight differences, but I make it work the best way I can. So there's that. Now I'm going to move on to the mobile lid, and I'm going to use one colour for that, which is the darkest one. which is a taupe. In fact, I'm using two taupes. So this is a matte. It's quite dark, at least for me, and I'm putting it over the mobile lid. These blend quite well. They don't particularly muddy, which is great. So that is the basic eye look there. And like I said, this palette is still available. And then what I do is I have a topper from Natasha Denona. It's from the Glam palette, but I don't actually know what it's called. But it is a taupe, glittery taupe. So what I do is just press that with a warm finger into the centre to give a bit of a halo eye. It gives a bit of life back and lets the eye pop a bit in the centre. There it is, very, very subtle. You can see there. And then I'm going to get an eyeliner here. And this is Rodial, and it is a smoky eye pen. It's rather lovely, and it's in brown. And I only do around 2/3 of the upper lid, so I don't close my eyes in. They're not micro small, but they're not the largest. So I have to keep the colour to the outer part of the upper lid. And then for the lower lid, I'm going to use an Essence, and it's just called Nude Liner. And this goes in the waterline, but the problem is it's not a good pencil. I would never recommend this one, because if it goes onto the lower lid, it's just not very, very good at all. So there it is. Then the next thing I'm going to do is do my brows. So I've got a couple, I've got a couple of brow products here. I'm going to use these two. This is from Essence, and it's Blonde Number 1. It's a wind-up pencil. Now, it's the same colour as the Benefit Number 3 pencils. So it's a pale brown, quite a beige tone. There it is. So my brows are sparse at the front and very grey, or white, as actually white. So that's done. And then I've got number 3 in precisely my brow by Penavit, and that is to do the tail. So I'm just going to, because it's more precise, I just drag that down. There, that's done. So just a tiny little bit, both of those are done. So I can recommend both of those. And then the next thing I will do is, I think I've set everything down there. Yeah, I'm going to set my makeup, and I'm going to use a setting spray from Laura Mercier, which isn't very good at all. I think it's worth about £30 or £32 for this. I got it in a beauty box, and I understand why it's rubbish. It's got really bad reviews. It's absolutely terrible. I'm using it. I can't say it particularly refreshes. It does leave the skin feeling a bit tight, but it doesn't actually enhance the skin at all or add to longevity. So I'm a bit bemused by this one. So I certainly wouldn't. I'm glad I didn't pay all that money for it. So that's where we're up to. The next thing I'm going to do is my lashes, and for that I have my lash primer, which is actually a L'Oreal, and it's called the Paradise Primer. So it's for the Paradise Lashes Mascara. Now, I have tried the Maybelline Sky High, and I wasn't impressed. It just didn't want to coat. Now, I have short lashes. They curl, but they're very, very short. They were sparse, but I have for many months now been using a serum, and it's from The Ordinary, and it is to help grow. It doesn't have prostaglandins in it, but it's supposed to help the lashes grow, and it has done something. They're not particularly long, they're a bit longer, but there's more lashes. So I'm not saying the lashes are thicker, but there's more of them, because normally I have very few at any given time on each lid. So I think it's done something. The only problem with this product is you're coating it for seemingly hours to get it to just do anything. It really doesn't want to stick to itself, stick to the lashes. So yeah, very, very, very disappointed. Well, again, it was only a drugstore. It's a cheap and inexpensive product. There we go. So that's done. It looks like it's nearly empty, and I've only had it open a very short period of time, a couple of weeks or so. So then I've got, for mascara, it is the Sumptuous Extreme from Estee Lauder. I don't like the wand, it's very big. I don't like the product, it's very wet. So I opened it months and months ago, and it was too wet. So I used it once, it just wouldn't do anything. So I've had to dry it out, not leave it open, but leave it standing. And it's eventually got to the state where I can use it. And I have used it a lot. But it means I've got to have like more than one mascara on the go, which I hate. Because when it just won't stick to itself, and it's like water, which this Sumptuous Extreme is like when it's new. Just very, very annoying. I don't know why they have them that runny. Now the one that I do like, because I just think Estee Lauder goes for quite subtle looks. The one that I do like is the Sumptuous Extreme Rebel, which I think is a limited edition. They do have it out now and again, and that one is like this with a primer built in. So it is very, very pretty. So, but to get these in kits when I get skincare, so I can't moan, I get them free. But now I wouldn't be rushing to pay the £30 odd for this, whatever it is, top 20s, whatever. You think Estee Lauder would have better mascaras, but no. Anyway, this is done, so it's not bad now. You can hear the rain. It's raining really heavy. So the last thing to do is, one of the last steps to do is my lipstick, and for that I've got a Lipstick Queen lip liner. It's defunct now, so I can't list that. It's soft. The only thing, it doesn't have the greatest lasting power. My lips are fairly well defined. I don't get bleeding. It is good. There we are. That's done. And then the next item I've got is, it's actually in my project pan at the moment. It's Ruby by Bobbi Brown, and it's a mini, and it's a crushed something it's called, crushed colour. So basically it's a gel that isn't fully opaque, but it sticks very well to the lips and leaves a tint as it wears off. Because it's firm, you don't actually use a lot of it each time. I've been using this for quite some time, and I've got quite a bit left. So I'm very, very pleased overall with that one. And then just to top it off, I have a Fenty Glass Bomb in 01, which I picked up in a beauty kit. And it's got a fruity fragrance. There it is. So I've got a bit left of this, but I'm enjoying using it. Now, if I feel like it, I can also add a bit more. I might add a bit of powder. I've got a Givenchy Prisma Libre, and this is the original formula. I don't know what's happening there, because there is some talk that the new formula is going to be withdrawn, or has been withdrawn by Givenchy. I don't know. But I do love this. It mats down slightly without taking life out of the face, but so it does leave a lovely finish. So that's all my makeup. And before I go, there was one thing I wanted to show you. I'm just going to make sure my powders are all secured and I don't knock them flying, because I have a tendency to want to do that. I'm just going to move anything that could smash out of the way. I actually haven't referenced or mentioned in a video that I picked up a caddy for makeup, but I didn't show you. Here it is. So this is £7.99 from TK Maxx. They're presently on sale there. They've been there quite a while. So there's a long one here, and then there's 3 sections for brushes, etc. So the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a finishing spray, which is a moisture one, and it's Pixie Glow Mist. I'm going to put that on now. That's nice, isn't it? That's done. So you have to shake it. It's a biphase. Then I'm going to take my clips out and see if I can do something with my fringe. Not going to be excellent, but there you go. Whoops. A bit little dishevelled, but this is the finished look. So let me know your thoughts down below. Can I say thank you very much for watching, as I do appreciate that your time is valuable. Hopefully I shall see you soon in another video. Otherwise, please take care of yourselves, and bye for now.